Hey, welcome back. Glad you could make it. Today's video is going to be around what controls I use. So essentially what my button layout is, what my sensitivity is, what my aim down sight sensitivity is, all of that, because there's been so many times where the lads are asking me, what do I do for this? What do I do for that? And I'm sick and tired of repeating myself. So I thought I'd make a video. If you find that your controls are slightly or a little bit different, I would still recommend to try these out, because if you're at a stage where you've reached a certain level and you aren't improving, it could be down to something like this. You will get worse before you get better, you know. Changing controls can be tough, but it's worth it in the long run, so just go for it. What I'm going to ask on this video is, please can we hit 20 likes? That would be absolutely amazing. It would really help me out. I've never asked something like this before, so let's see if we can hit that target of 20 likes. Come on, smash it, baby, smash it. Okay, so we're gonna hop over to the controls now. I'll see you over there. Okay, so we will run through the controller settings here. I'm going to assume that a lot of people watching this will have the button layout set to default. So this is the number one thing that you will have to change, in my opinion, in order to start getting better. If you have this set to default, you need to change it to tactical. As you can see down the bottom right here, it switches the melee and the crouch, prone, slide buttons, meaning that in order to crouch now with tactical, all you have to do is click down on R3. And by doing this, you'll be able to crouch, slide, go prone while still aiming, which is so beneficial when it comes to gunfights. You'll be able to do drop shots, you'll be able to do slide shots. It's so much more useful than melee, which you might only use at the very beginning of a game of Warzone when you land on top of someone, or maybe in the gulag. That's really the only time that you're going to be using melee, so definitely switch this to tactical. What I like to do as well, and this is something that you can do if you want, it's something that I would suggest, is to click square here in order to change it to tactical flipped. So what this does is it flips R1 and L1 and R2 and L2, meaning that L1 is now aim and R1 is shoot. I find that just L1 and R1, your fingers sit more naturally on these buttons than L2 and R2. There's a little bit more of a strain to hold them back that far. But again, it isn't the biggest difference. Try it out, see what you think. It's something that I do, and also a lot of people will be using controllers where L2 and R2 are triggers, so it takes that little bit extra to click down, just a tiny bit longer, which could be the difference in you winning a gunfight and losing. Okay, next we have stick layout preset. Leave that as default. Invert look, default or disabled. Dead zone, I'd recommend to have this between 0.1 and 0.15. If you have it lower than 0.1, it's a little bit too sensitive, and anything above 0.15 is not sensitive enough. So that is where I would leave it. But I would recommend everyone would have their preference in what sensitivity they have their horizontal and their vertical sticks. If it is at 6 at the standard, that's just a little bit too low. You know, you're not going to be able to do much with that. I have brought mine up to 9. If you want to go 10, 11, if you're more comfortable with higher sensitivity, by all means. I found my sweet spot at 9. I never have my vertical as high as my horizontal, due to the fact that most of the game you'll be running around left and right, left and right, left and right. So you're more used to this movement as opposed to up, down, up, down. That is why I have it a little bit lower. You could try it 1 lower. I actually do it 2 lower. I have tried it out at 1 lower, and there isn't much of a difference, but I'm going to keep it at 7 for the time being. Okay, aim down sight sensitivity multiplier for low zoom. This is something that I kind of chop and change between 0.6 and 0.65. I always have this quite low, as I like to try and aim towards the target before I zoom in, meaning that when I zoom in, I can be quite aggressive with the thumbstick. This will not work for you if you're the kind of player who, as soon as you see someone on screen, regardless of where your crosshairs are, you click aim down sight. Because if you are that kind of player, it means it will take forever to bring the crosshairs over to your opponent. But really, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. You should only be zooming in when your crosshairs are over your opponent. So this is something that I would highly recommend. And you have to remember that 0.65 is a multiplier of 0.9. So if yours is up at 12, maybe increase that a little bit. Okay, and yeah, high zoom for snipers, I have it at 0.8. It's not as low because you're already zoomed in so much that you do need that little bit more wiggle room with the sensitivity. Aim response curve type standard, controller vibration disable. Always disable your controller vibration, because if your controller is vibrating in your hand while you're getting shot, it's going to put you off slightly. Aim assist standard. Scale aim assist with field of view disabled. These are ones that you can kind of choose whichever one suits you best, but these are the ones that I have. You can pause it here if you want to copy them. Use/reload behavior always have as contextual tap. There's so many people who I'm running around with and they're saying, how do you pick up stuff so fast? It's because you have tap to reload chose. You can, if you want to pick up stuff fast only, you can do tap to use and that'll pick up stuff fast. But contextual tap means that reload and pick up stuff will both be quick, unless you are standing over something that you can pick up and you need to reload at the same time. Then you will need to hold square to reload. But apart from that, it's all the time. Depleted ammo weapon switch, disable this. So if you have this as enabled, when your gun runs out of ammo, it will automatically switch to your other gun. And if you, like, a lot of the time what was happening to me, it was enabled initially. I'd run out of bullets and then I would automatically go to switch guns myself, but this would then switch it back to the empty gun, and it made me lose so many games early on. So definitely have that as disabled. And armor plate behavior apply all, because you'll want to put on all your armor pieces at once. Slide behavior tap. Auto move forward disabled. Automatic sprint, change that to automatic tactical sprint. Vehicle camera recenter enabled. Those don't really matter. The most important thing here is it will be tough to get used to straight away, but change your button layout to tactical from default. Believe me, it will help so much. I remember doing it. I used to play default back on one of the old Call of Duties, and when I switched to tactical, it took me a while to get used to. But what you need to do is just walk around and crouch and uncrouch and crouch and uncrouch by clicking R3, and you'll just train your brain to get used to it after a while. It won't take that long. If you're bad at the game and you want to get better, this is something that you need to do. Well, thanks for watching. I hope this was beneficial. If you want to see more videos like this, definitely leave some comments below. Don't forget to like as well. Please like the video to support the channel. And I'll see you next time.